Here is a quick overview of our group observing the occupations of the Beaver Tails employees. The Beaver Tails hut is located on the Halifax Boardwalk and is open from 11 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. When we observed on Thursday, September the 29th, around 1:15 p.m., there were 2 employees. These were the 3 occupations that we observed. 1. Counting change. 2. Baking and cooking. And 3. Social interaction.
Person factors for physical skills associated with optimal performance of this occupation are as follows. Motor skills for muscles to manipulate objects such as the beaver tail dough and ingredients, agility to move fast and adequately during the pastry making process, balancing coordination to combine several movement patterns into a distinct movement, which would include multitasking when making the beaver tails or interacting with customers and taking payments, stamina to utilize energy to work long hours at the beaver tail hut and remain standing all day while baking, accuracy to control movements, and tempo to use appropriate time cycles between movement patterns while cooking the beaver tail in the deep fryer and applying the appropriate ingredients to each one.
Many cognitive person factors are important to working as a Beaver Tails employee as well. Numeracy skills are required to be able to count money and give back change, while literacy skills are needed to communicate with customers, read orders, and read the cash register. Spatial awareness is needed to navigate around the shack and visually process where different necessary objects are. The ability to recognize and abstain from dangers is more than important in a place with knives and deep fryers. In all of these tasks, employees need to be able to sequence ideas to break down complex actions into manageable units. Employees need to be able to do both of these things and talk to customers at the same time, but also to focus on a task when necessary. Therefore, the ability to multitask as well as the ability to sustain concentration without being distracted are key to this role.
Emotionally, the workers were patient with customers, broke up complex tasks, had self-control to remain calm in frustrating situations, were interacting with people and were resilient after undesirable situations, and also the workers seemed to have been bonding emotionally. Spiritually, the workers were exercising giving, they were teaching each other, they had a sense of purpose, a sense of community, and in the big picture, a belief in the vision of Beaver Tails as an organization. The multiple interactions in relation to making beaver tails are as follows. Interaction between employees and coworkers that work at the beaver tail establishment, between employees and customers who are purchasing a beaver tail, between other business owners through hiring, training, and working, between employees and management if any issues at the beaver tails hut arose.
The setting where the occupation of making beaver tails took place includes physical, cultural, social, political, and institutional components. The physical components of the setting that we observed was that it was not an accessible location and not wheelchair accessible. We also observed that the workplace was potentially unsafe due to the small size of the hut and navigating around deep fryers and cluttered working conditions. We noted that there was no washroom or break room present in the hut, so employees would need to go elsewhere for bathroom breaks or other breaks. In some Beaver Tail locations, it is seasonal due to the weather. For example, the Halifax Beaver Tails location is seasonal, only open in the spring, summer, and partially into the fall.
Created using PART1.